What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be playing a game on PTCGO today, and I finally spent some time testing Zoroark GX in expanded format. I think there are just so many ways to play Zoroark in expanded. There's Zoro Control, you can play Zoro Garb, you can also play an aggressive all-out Zoroark deck. There are just a lot of different ways. Obviously, Zoroark's been paired with Lycanroc in the past, as well as Golisopod. Lots of different ways to play it. So it was a little bit daunting getting started on Zoroark in expanded format. You might notice that I do not have any of those expensive Zoruas here on PTCGO, so please forgive me. But I had a lot of fun with this list, was testing last night with JW Creewall. This is kind of a Turbo Zoroark deck that aims to just get big knockouts with Zoroark GX and kind of just go non-stop from there. I'm playing Muck as a partner for Zoroark, similar in playstyle to Zoro Garb, except we're just shutting down abilities with Muck instead of messing around with Gardevoir, and we want to just be aggressive as possible. So I do have a computer search start here. This is very good for me. I will gladly just get rid of, I think, the Faba and the Floatstone. That's fine. And I am going first as well, which is very big. So I could just go in and get a Battle Compressor, and I could Battle Compressor away the Egg and a Bridget if it's in my deck. So that way I can get the Bridget off the Versus Seeker. I do like that. I will definitely opt for that play turn 1. And then we do have the Zoroark for turn 2, so that's nice as well. I usually like to have a little bit more of explosive turn 1s than this, but we can't win them all. Get rid of my other Faba. I am playing 2 copies of Faba in this deck too, just to help take control of Zoroark mirrors, as well as just Toad matchups can be really troublesome. So the Faba has been fantastic for that. Now, Faba is something that we have to be wary of for sure. Is my Ditto Prism Star. There he is. Faba is something we have to be wary of for sure in expanded format, especially if you're playing a deck that only runs 4 double colorless energy, not like this one, right? It's something that you have to be careful of. If you get all 4 of your energy lost zoned, gonna be having a bad time. But I've been practicing with this list quite a bit. I've got 2 special charge in it, and it is possible to keep your opponent out of range of like lost zoning all 4 of your energy. You just have to be very careful. Your energy is actually safe in your hand. It can't be Faba'd out of your hand. So if you're only putting energy into play when it is ready to be into play, then you're usually fine. Now your opponent can Team Skull Grunt you, then Giraffe Rig you, I guess, in order to get those energy out of your hand into the discard pile, then into the lost zone, but that is an awful lot. So let's see here. We do start out with a couple copies of Zoroark. That is very good, and we will gladly just start propagating and trading here in order to get things moving. I am playing against Gardevoir. This is not great for me just because they have 230 hit points and are resistant to Dark, which is not exactly what we want to see. I have, let's see, Muck, which is cool. I don't necessarily need to use that yet, though. I kind of want to just set up and be a little bit more aggressive before I set a Muck up or anything like that. There's really just no point. And I do have an Ultra Ball. So I think I will Ultra Ball away the Delinquents and potentially... I haven't really found myself needing the Floatstones all too much in this deck, so I think that's something that could be on the chopping block as well. I think I'll just go get rid of the Muck and the Delinquent. Oh, the Muck and the Floatstone. That's probably fine. We'll get rid of those, and I think I just end my opponent here. We could go Lele and end, or I could Let Loose, which would be kind of an all-in play. Oh, let's Let Loose. My opponent hasn't set up yet. If we get a DCE supporter, I mean, then we're like really cooking. So let's let him rip. This is something that I do love about this deck. Oh, yeah. We got a Skyfield and we got a DCE. So let loose my opponent to just 4 cards, and now we are in business in order to just start taking more aggressive knockouts in the next couple turns. since I can bench all of these guys. So that is very cool. Riot beating the Vulpix there. And honestly, this is how this deck wins a lot of games. You just let loose into better cards than your opponent because you have trade and they don't. So stage 2 decks like Gardevoir can be very susceptible to this kind of strategy. They do have an Ultra Ball though, so they are going to be able to go get probably a Lele for a supporter, but they do need a big draw off of this. Or I guess they're getting the Slugma if they have maybe a supporter in hand. They do have Sycamore. So they do need a big draw here. They don't have the evolutions from Beacon that they had previously, so we'll see if they rip the Gardevoir Candy. If they do, that would be big for them for sure, but they don't. So they scoop it up. That's right, Let Loose getting in the paint there. Game 1 against Gardevoir. That should be a bad matchup on paper, but Zoroark, you know what? It's fine. It's consistent deck. We got Let Loose. We got a pack of Lost Thunder. Pretty cool. So I do like that this deck can really just beat anything with an early Let Loose. The list is kind of taking some notes from that Zoroark GX deck that I showed off maybe a month and a half ago. The Let Loose Delinquent red card list that I showed off here on the channel. Pretty similar in essence to that list. Obviously, we do have the Let Loose as a component. Delinquent is a valid option as well, but it is a little bit less all in on that strategy. I'm not playing the red cards, the peaking red cards, things like that. Now, I don't mind starting Shaman at all in this list. I do like, if you're going second, you don't mind using the Sky Return at all just to get this thing out of the active. Now, it does look like we are playing against Greninja Break, unfortunately, which is not what we want. But I don't trust that my opponent actually has a dead hand here, so I think that I'm just going to go in with the... I think I'm just going to go in with Let Loose. That's kind of... yeah, that's fine. We're just going to let loose my opponent to 4 cards. And we'll draw a supporter out of here. We're totally going to be fine. You got to believe. You got to trust the deck a little bit. Yes. So we've got a Bridget. This is fantastic. That is just insane. We've got 1, 2, and I think we just go... Maybe the Sudowoodo could be good too, just to keep my opponent from having too many Pokemon on their bench. The Muck isn't going to do anything in this matchup. Gardevoir would just be better here. So that's probably fine. And then we're just going to go in and start taking early knockouts here. Next turn. So we'll Sky Return this guy, and hopefully my opponent doesn't have too much else going on. We do have the option to draw cards with Shaman next turn, and at the very least, I can also AZ the Shaman and continue to kind of grind out, grind out some draws with Shaman EX and Skyfield. Unfortunately, my opponent did draw enough things off of that, and a Sycamore. Oh my gosh, the Let Loose did not punish them at all. It got Silent Lab, but that's okay because I have Skyfield. So we'll see how many Frogadier did they prize or did they get in their hand? None. They've got all 4 in play. That's fine. I didn't need that anyway. So we'll start off with that guy. Then we're also definitely attaching the double colorless energy. Definitely going to set up for some draws. So let's set up for 3. And we've got Ultra Ball. We can Ultra Ball away the Faba and the AZ. Get a Zoroark. I mean, then I am knocking this thing out, which is not that bad. But next turn, I'm just going to start getting Shadow Stitched, which is just absolutely horrible. I can't really deal with that. I can Faba that the splash energy there, so that's not bad. It just doesn't feel great. I think that we are, I think we're in here on this play. Let's Ultra Ball away. That or I get the Zoroark and I can, yeah, it's fine. I can get Zoroark, yeah. So we're going to get the Zoroark and then we're going to end up trading, I think. So we'll get rid of those guys, get myself a Zoroark GX, and then hopefully we just draw into some other cards here. Greninja is just by no means a decent matchup at all for this deck, unfortunately. This does seem very horrendous. But we'll see what we can do. You never know. Maybe they don't get too much going on. See, we've got Guzma and we've got Faba. I think if I Faba the splash energy, that's not exactly great. I think I kind of have to. That's fine. I'll just get a supporter card out of my deck. I'm going to get like a Colress. That way I can draw next turn, even if I get Shadow Stitched, which is probably just what's going to happen. And I'll Versus Seeker for the Faba, and we'll just remove the Splash Energy. That's fine. That goes to the Lost Zone. And then we'll take our knockout. So Riot is beating 1 prize. This is not what we want, unfortunately. We could play Giratina. I don't think it would necessarily help all too much with this matchup, though. The 1 prize nature of the deck is just very tough to deal with. But we'll see. We'll see. They got lots of Silent Labs, apparently, so they are, ready to take on my Sky Fields and also my Lele and Shaman action for sure. But they've got Ace Trainer, so here we go. They're going to Shadow Stitch and Ace Trainer. This is like pretty much horrible for me. I've got no trade action, only 4 cards in hand. Talk about a shake and bake. My Let Loose was not nearly enough to stick them. They are going to be Ace Trainering me like every turn from here on out. So let's see. I can't Faba really. AZ's not quite gonna cut it either right now. I need to draw more cards, so we're just going to Colress and hope that we get some things off of the Colress. We didn't get the Sky Field that we needed, so we're only doing 120 damage. That is super tough, and I don't have Lusamine as an option available to me, so I think I just go and Sky Return this thing. Sky Return actually feels kind of underwhelming, but it does get the Shaman out of play, and the Shaman is just super easy pickings for Greninja Break, so that isn't that bad for me. I can Ultra Ball away. Probably the N and the Faba is probably fine. Get myself another Zoroark just to make sure that that thing doesn't just get sniped out of existence. So we stabilize my board a little bit. I could Riot Speeding for 120. It feels so bad. Oh, it feels so bad. All right, that's fine. We're just gonna go in here, retreat and Sky Return, and we are just going to promote probably, I guess, I don't think that there's really anything too good that I can promote here other than, see, I do have AZ as an option, so I could like promote the Lele and then AZ and then go back in, but I think I just want to draw more cards with Colress and potentially be able to like kind of spread my wings and fly. Do you feel me? Feel what I'm saying? I need to get the Sky Field out here. So let's see. I think it's just got to be this guy, which is just a major feel bad. I think the Zoroark like actually could just get knocked out, which would just be devastating if my opponent just goes Giant Water Shuriken, all that, and has no problem whatsoever taking that KO. We need to find Sky Field. We're playing 4. We got the Lusamine. That's great. But I don't really have too much else going on. We can't set up with Shaman. We can't do too much. We got like 6. We could do, let's see, 6, 7. That's 140. Oh, which is a knockout on this Greninja, actually. So I can get that's really good. So the Lusamine is coming in clutch here. I got a Shaman as well. So we are doing more damage. And the Lusamine will get me a supporter card. So I do like that. Let's Lusamine. Gonna grab the Sky Field and a Colress probably. And let's see, this thing's got a Splash Energy on it. That's fine, I guess. We'll take these fellas here. We'll play the Sky Field. That's good. Now I can have more bench Pokemon. And then I think that we just have to bench these Shamans for nothing. Which just, I didn't actually have a Pokemon for that Rescue Stretcher, so it's good I top deck the Shaman. That's like a major feel bad, because as soon as my opponent gets some energy moving, this is just going to be pretty disastrous. But, yep, whatever. Here we go. Riot is beating. Take a knockout. 140 damage, down to 4 prizes. Let's get it. Let's get it, Zoroark. We're going to have, like, no abilities for the rest of the game. This is just, it's pretty bad. I think this is a situation where maybe the Garb version of Zoroark could just be superior. Your opponent having to look out for Trashalanche is very big, so that's something. I mean, even though my opponent only has like 3 or 4 items in the discard pile right now, it is something that would be troublesome for them. They're not just going to have infinite free energy with that Starmie, which is very annoying. So, you know, a bunch of things that could be better here if we were potentially playing Garb. Greninja is just not good almost either way for most Zoroark decks, though. But the Garbodor version probably has the best outs to beating it. That being said, I do like just the snappiness and the responsiveness of this Zoroark deck, that it kind of gets in there very quickly and takes some very quick aggressive prizes versus a lot of decks having that option to do a very fast, a very quick 210 damage. Here we go, getting Ace Trainered again. All right, so that's just fantastic. Here we go. So 3 cards. Oh, my opponent's giving me the well played already. Oh, they're already giving me the well played already then, sir. I see you. See, they got another giant water shriek, and that's right. And they're going to Shadow Stitch. Knock out my Zoroark GX in one go. I mean, I can take a knockout, though. If they don't have a counter stadium, I could take a one-hit KO on this Greninja. It is definitely possible. I did get rid of my... Oh, my Colress is no longer in this discard pile, though. That is just so bad. The Colress is like what we desperately want right now off of this. End of 4 is not gonna get it with that Versus Seeker. So let's see here. All right. We got to promote our Zoroark. That's all we got. We got Zorua and Egg and a bunch of Versus Seekers for not Colress. So this is not good. No bueno. But we will end my opponent. That's fine. It's just what we got to do. No other options, really. So we have to just hope that, yep, we have to hope that we draw DCE and a Pokemon off of this end of 4. Yeah, I've seen crazier things happen. Let's see. So we got ourselves a Colress. Not exactly what we want. But that's okay. I can special charge, throw that double colorless energy back in the deck. That does help a little bit. My opponent is limited to 4 cards, but they are just going to be able to Giant Water Shuriken. I think at this point the game is definitely over. They just have double Giant Water Shuriken onto Shaymins. Yeah, they're just giving me the well played. Yeah, well played. You have a good deck. That's good. All right, we're out of here. Greninja, no, can't do it. They're just going to have guaranteed double Water Shuriken on a Shaymin next turn. That just is not going to work out. All right, so let's try running it one more time. Uno mas with the Turbo Zoroark deck. Greninja is just, nobody likes playing against Greninja. I have not liked playing against Greninja for years now. For years, I have found that deck to just be absolutely troublesome to play against. The only time I liked playing against Greninja is when I was playing like Vespa Queen. It was cool then. I was like cool on the Greninja matchup back then. But otherwise, it's been pretty much horrendous playing against Greninja ever since it was released. Especially since I was a big Night March fan. Alright, so we've got a classic situation here where we end up let loosing to 4 turn 1. So that's kind of what we got going on. It's cool though. We got Skyfield. We do have a double colorless energy as well. Looks like I'm playing against some sort of Shrine deck. Fortunately, if my opponent is playing Hoopa, I do have that Muck, which will help me to get around Hoopa, which would be very good. But, oh no, it looks like we were playing against some sort of Noivern GX deck. Why are there so many Noivern GX decks on PTCGO? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I never see them in real life, but on PTCGO, surely enough, once a week, I get a Noivern GX deck here to try and item lock me, which is very annoying. But see, they got experience share as well, darkness energies, and no supporters in that hand. Oh, I'm feeling much better about this hand already with that Zorua there. That's cool. We'll gladly put that into play, The double colorless energy probably goes on to the active. That's fine. And we'll just let them loose. Yep, 4 cards. That's cool. Let's get it. I know my opponent didn't really play anything, so maybe that's not correct. But that's you gotta shoot your shot sometimes. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we've each got 4 cards. I don't have anything going on, but you know what? Neither does my opponent. So maybe, just maybe, we'll draw out of this one. Yeah, we're just going to ram. Okay, that's fine. I don't actually feel like using Guzma. So maybe they ain't got it like that. Maybe they ain't got nothing going on. That's, you know, maybe we top deck a Zoroark. maybe this is not the Noivern I thought it was. Oh my gosh. Echolocation. Boom Burst. Cynthia, what am I looking at here? Oh my gosh, this is insanity. So, I guess they are going to make me flip to attack them every single time. They've only got 100 hit points, but only a 50% success rate on me actually attacking them. And they're going to do 30 damage to all of my Pokemon. Well, that's that's a wrap on that one. All right, one more. All right, we're gonna see if we can. We're gonna get a good game here. A good game. That was not good. I feel like not representative of. That was not representative of my testing last night. Definitely not. I did not do any testing against Greninja Break, that's for sure. I also did not do any testing against Noivern, that's for sure. Otherwise, the deck was working good last night, so I don't know. This hand is much better than all my other hands that I've opened, so this is a pretty rad start here. We can Lele for a Bridget turn 1, Shaman turn 2, and we're kind of off to the races here. My opponent is also giving me a mulligan, which I appreciate. No idea what they're playing, though. They got Bursting Balloon. I think I saw Fairy Energy in their deck, in their deck description. So, no clue. What in the world is this? What? Miracle Harmony? What? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't know what I'm playing against, but let's just set the deck up. All right. So here we go. We're going to get ourselves a Brigetti, and we're going to just stay the course and get turn 1 Bridget going first. Fantastic. Now I could let loose my opponent. I'm not really feeling all that swifty right now. I don't think. I think I want to, actually just set the deck up pretty standardly here. Go a Ditto and 2 other Zoruas. That's good. Next turn, I just go. I can Ultra Ball for a Zoroark. I can Shaman. I can Skyfield. We'll be good starting next turn. So next turn, we're going to be a lot more aggressive. Maybe we end up let loosing next turn after we see what in the world my opponent is doing. I think, I don't know. I know that there's some Meloettas that have like a round attack. Is this just like a random PTCGO deck? Are they trying to accomplish some sort of challenge? Sing, flip a coin for each of your Pokemon to play that has a Sing attack that does 10 damage for each head to each of your opponent's Pokemon. That can't be good, right? Oh, we're playing against a Sing deck. Okay. We're playing against a deck that just attacks with Sing. That's it. And then tries to Miracle Harmony because all these Pokemon have Sing. All of them have Sing. All right. Well done, opponent. I see what you're trying to do. So we are going to Ultra Ball away, probably the Lusamine and a Shaman here. That's probably fine. And we're just going to go and get myself a Zoroark, and then we're going to end. So let's just do that. We'll get a Zoroark here. That's good, and I guess we're just kind of taking some shots here. I don't want to hit into Bursting Balloon. That seems kind of bad, but I might just have to. We'll evolve the active. That's probably fine. And then we can attach the double colorless. That's probably fine, and I'm fine just using setup as well. So let's just draw to 4, see what we get. We've got another Zoroark. I could Delinquent my opponent. I don't mind that. I actually kind of like it. But I think I Ultra Balled away a Skyfield already. No, I didn't. I'm good to go, actually. So let's trade. Delinquent could just be good. So let's trade here. Let's get the... Delinquent could be good. I'm just thinking about it. Maybe we want a Guzma too, though. No, but I already... Ooh, I do have Marshadow, and I do have Floatstone. So I could Marshadow, maybe do something else here. Let's trade one more time. We'll trade one more time. Get the Delinquent down. And now let's see where we're at. We got more double colorless energy on deck. So we could let loose. We could end. I think that the Delinquent just like feels good though. Just to limit my opponent's options. So we'll just do that, and then, we'll just hit into this Meloetta with the Bursting Balloon. That's fine. We'll do that. Get out of here. 3 cards. Discard them. See what they end up discarding. A bunch of supporter cards. Yikes. That's cool. And then we'll just ride his beating here. 4 knockout. Take that 60 damage, though. Like, right on the chin. Not exactly what we want, but it's fine. I do play AZ as an option to pick this thing up. I don't know. Is Sing, like, some sort of goal right now? Or is my opponent just, like... Am I just getting trolled out here on PTCGO with this whole Sing, you know, thing going on? I don't really know. But anyways, I mean, are they going to attach a double colorless energy here? Is that what's going on? And then they get to flip a coin for each one? That can't possibly be good. You're only sniping an average of 30 damage if you have 6 Pokemon in play with Sing, and then you have 6 Pokemon in play that have Sing. I don't see it. But that's what we get on the expanded ladder sometimes. Just, you know, your Sing deck. That's fine. So I think my opponent's looking for a double colorless energy, and they probably want to Miracle Harmony, but I don't actually see how they end up streaming attacks here. Like, how do you attack with this Meloetta more than once? Do they plan on using, like, Tapu Koko is just infinitely, oh my gosh, they're going to do it, aren't they? Oh, they knocked out the Ditto. They knocked out the Ditto. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Okay, that Ditto's a goner. Yikes. That's no bueno. All right, so let's see what we got going on. That Ditto is just out of here. Totally gone. I think I will probably end up using AZ or something this turn, but I have to think about it a little bit. I don't need any of my Skyfields really at all. That's just like not something that I super need in this matchup. So let's just trade away. I think I'm okay trading away a Skyfield, I guess. Like, none of these guys have more than 80 hit points, so I think I'm cool. Eventually, I may want to, like, bump this Shaman, though, because that could just be troublesome. But, you know, we'll figure it all out when we get there. Okay, we got Special Charge in our hand. I can AZ. That's fine. I think I want to AZ the active Zoroark. That's cool. And then we're just going to promote this one here. We can evolve it even too. That's pretty neat. I don't know if I traded before all that. You know, I probably should have focused on, you know, making sure that I didn't mess that up too much. But it's all good. We'll get rid of the Float Stone. That's fine. Gonna bench probably another Zorua. We've got Faba here, part of the squad. We could trade away the Faba probably, though I guess I could run them out of energy is an option. There's another Skyfield. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 100 damage. Should be fine. Think I'm just safe here. I don't think I need to end my opponent or anything like that. Think I'm just going to sit on this hand for a minute and just try to survive the Sing onslaught that we've got ahead of us here that we did not anticipate on seeing. My opponent, I guess they can Clefairy, they can Metronome if somehow they can accelerate 3 energy onto a Clefairy, but I don't think that they just have any decent way to get 3 energy onto a Pokemon. I think they're just stuck having to double attach, which ultimately should be a pretty severe downfall of this deck, that it could just get. First of all, you could Guzma out anybody that my opponent is attached to. I think I'm being memed on though, so I think that's probably what's happening, is that I'm getting memed on, and then, you know, joke's gonna be on me. That's okay. That's fine. You know, you guys are just on the ride with me this morning. This is what's going on, and I'm not even gonna cut this out of the video. You guys get to see what I work with here on PTCGO, the Sing Challenge. That's just wonderful. All right, so back to our turn. Very good. Let's go. We've got ourselves a bunch of Zoroarks out in play, so that is pretty chill. Would like to find a Guzma. So I haven't played the Guzma yet. So I could easily just go get myself a Lele or something like that. I will easily just trade away that Choice Band, though. I don't think that I'll need any of those for sure. We could trade away the Skyfield as well. That's fine. 1 Skyfield will probably do it. And I'll trade away the... Guess I could trade away that Zorua. Would be okay too. But I kind of like the Marshadow, kind of like the Zorua. We could trade away that N. That's probably fine. We'll trade away the N. I think my hand is so big at this point that I don't actually want to like super get rid of it. So let's computer search. I think we're computer searching away the Pseudo Wudo, and a Rescue Stretcher probably feels fine. We're going to get a Battle Compressor. If our Battle Compressor is in the deck, we want the Battle Compressor, and we want to get that Guzma in the discard pile. Where's my Guzma? Guzma's prized. All right, guys, Guzma's prized. So that's fine. Plan B. What do we got for Plan B? I guess we got nothing. We're just going to take another one of these attacks to the face. So that's just great. Okay. I think that off of the comp search then, we probably, the Battle Compressor is good. At least then I don't have to be ditching actual real cards every turn, and I could just get rid of that egg. So that's probably okay. And I probably want a Colress as well, just so I could draw a lot of cards. And that Fava can probably also hit the discard pile. That's a-okay. We've got lots of options. Cool. Rad. Let's just go. Riot is beating. Knock this guy out. I just like not gonna play a support. I guess I could like Lusamine for something back, but I don't really even want anything. I could have delinquented my opponent. I think I'm just gonna stay the course here and continue trying to churn through these singers until we get to our final game. I will roll one more game here to see if I can play against something remotely meta in this expanded gameplay, but you know, I'll leave the Sing deck for all our viewing pleasure. We'll get to see Sing and Miracle Harmony. Bet you haven't seen this on PTCGO before. Bet you haven't. Not like this. Is this even an expanded? I guess it is an expanded deck. Okay, my opponent only got 2 this time, so much more manageable than the 4 that my opponent got previously. That was kind of tough to deal with, not gonna lie. So at this point, we do have to be like pretty concerned about that Shaman, so I think I'm just going to AZ it. That would be very good, yeah. So let's probably just do that. We could propagate and trade a couple times. So I only got 12 cards left in deck, so I do have to be a little bit careful of like decking out. Don't want to do that. I have Rescue Stretcher, so I do have that as kind of like a fail-safe, but I think I'm just going to prop a couple times here, AZ the Shaman, just to make sure that nothing crazy happens, and just go from there. My opponent can't even speed up the process with like Dimension Valley or anything like that. It's just not really going to work. Let's just AZ that. Yeah, let's get that Shaman out of here. Get him out of here, please. So AZ, get him out. Cool. I could like let loose my opponent right here just to limit the amount of cards in their hand, I guess. I could delinquent them. I could let loose, then maybe delinquent them. There's like a bunch of things I can do here. I just don't really feel like I need to do any of them because I probably just need to keep doing my Riotous Beating for 100, and then we'll just be done. And my opponent, hopefully they had a nice fulfilling match. Here is my Guzma. Great. That is awesome. I just want to know like who is the pilot right now. I want to know who is the pilot of this deck. Who are you, Mega Kraken? And why are you here? What are you Oh, are they trying to... Oh my gosh, if I was about to just get like Dimension Valley and like Ultra, you know, Necrozma GX or whatever, and just like the GX attack. I mean, granted, they don't have win on board or anything like that, but if my opponent was like prepping me for some sort of insanity like that, I would have been pretty salty, not gonna lie, if they had somehow memed on me and just made me look very silly. Now, they've got Bursting Balloon, they got the D-Valley in play, so my opponent actually can... my opponent can just sing for free. Like, they could have done that with the Meloetta, but I guess they decided that they didn't really feel like it, so that's fine. All right, they're going to scoop it up. I guess they realized that it wasn't happening. That, or maybe they realized that they just, you know, they could have sung for free, and they realized that they just were mad at themselves for not doing that. I don't know. Either way, they gave it to me, so I'll take that as a win for my Turbo Zoroark deck, and we'll play one more. All right, one more, and then we're done. This is the last gameplay with Turbo Zoroark here on PTCGO. I also want to test out Zoroark, so that's another deck that I'm going to be looking at in expanded format. I want to test out Rayquaza a little bit. Want to test out Blastoise a little more. Think I've thrown in the towel on Vespiquen, but tell you what, Vespiquen was just so fun to play. So fun to play, man. I don't know. Vespiquen could just, it might still just find its way onto my playing table for Anaheim. So we're, we're still trying to figure everything out here. There are just so many different control options. The control options are real, things like Wailord, Faba, Toad, all that is just so very stressful in Expanded, which is why I built this deck. My idea was to try and just like run them off the table. I was actually envisioning like Raichu, like those old Turbo Raichu decks. I played one in like 2015 at a regional championships. It was just a lot of fun, and I really much enjoyed the deck, and I am just trying to envision Zoroark as like a big Raichu with 210 hit points, and it can draw cards, like way better. So I think I'm okay. Nope, we're not putting that DC down. We're just going to N. All right. So unfortunately, I didn't get the bridge start there or anything like that, but it's cool because we've got some other stuff going on. I actually really like this hand. So we've got Zorua, I've got Mysterious Treasure, but I think I saved the Mysterious Treasure for next turn. Or no, I think I just Mysterious Treasure for probably, we could get Lele. We could also get a Grimer here. The Grimer could be good next turn. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm not going to end up getting Lele quite yet. We'll just Mysterious Treasure for the Grimer because I don't know what my opponent's actually going to be playing. And then we'll pass to my opponent. So we've got a turn 2 Zoroark in hand. Hope that my opponent doesn't like delinquent me or something. Like, I guess I could have played around that a little bit. So off of... Ooh, they are playing Trev. I want to see how this matchup goes. I have not actually played against Trevenant yet with my deck, so I don't know how I fare at all, though I feel like I should be pretty good against Trevenant. Obviously, I'm Dark type, so that's nice. I do have some options available to me. My opponent is probably looking to, let's see, ooh, they slept me, and they poisoned me, and they have the D-Valley. Wow, they hit everything that they need. So that is pretty stellar here, and my opponent's just going to be able to Ascension. Now, they don't have a backup plan, though. They don't have any backup Pokemon here. So if I'm able to knock out this Trevenant, that would be very good. But, of course, I stayed asleep. So we've got this here. I can't play any item cards. I think I just need to go all in on potentially... I can't really bridge it. I have to, Shaman, let's see, set up for 1 just to get another Pokemon down for sure. So let's do that. And we need a Zoroark, bad. But I don't want to just end. That feels so bad. Feels so bad to just end. I could delinquent my opponent. That's probably not going to do enough. They have 4 cards in their hand, not 3. So let's just end here, and we're really just hoping for a Zoroark off the end. We did get a Zoroark and a Skyfield and a Zorua. So that's all really, really good. Sick draws for me there. Into it, and I think at this point, it should be hard for my opponent to recover just because of my stable board position here. So let's trade away probably the Rescue Stretcher or the Floatstone. I mean, both are good. They're going to scoop it up. Yep, they're even playing against Zoroark. So one more. All right, we were going to win that one. We were just going to knock out their only Trevenant, and they weren't very excited about that. Understandable. I can't get anybody in Expanded to play games with me, by the way. Y'all notice that? I just keep getting... Well, to be fair, I also scooped against that Greninja player, but they were spamming me, too. They were spamming, well played, well played. It was over. But, yes, people just keep scooping. That's fair, though. Everybody's trying to test. Everybody wants to know, what their deck does against various matchups. So, you kind of know that I think wiping my opponent's only Trevenant out there was probably just going to put me in a position where I wasn't going to lose. They were going to be hard-pressed to promote another Trevenant that turn. And at that point, they're just on the back foot so far that I don't think that they can really come back up on top. So Let's see here. All right, mulligan hand. Give me one more hand. And let's see what we got here. Jesse Boy. All right, Jesse Boy with your Ultra Necrozma sleeves. Digging it. See what we got. All right, I'm into it. We've got our Ditto Prism Star. I'm going first. I'll start the Ditto Prism Star. I am playing 2 Floatstone in this list, so the Floatstones are actually not all that bad. They're not all that great. I just they help with the mobility for sure, but I don't think that you necessarily need all them float stones out here. So let's go in, and I can Ultra Ball turn 1, get myself a Bridget or something like that. It's pretty good. I feel comfortable getting rid of the Juniper and that Lusamine. I got a Versus Seeker in my hand, so let's get Lele is the Bridget here. I'm only playing 1 Bridget. A little bit sketchy, but whatever, it's fine. We got 3 Shaman. We draw cards. We draw plenty of cards. I draw into the Bridget all the time. So we'll go there and gladly get ourselves the Bridget. And then we also have Shaman for, we could Shaman this turn, we could Shaman next turn, I don't know, we'll see what we're feeling. Maybe Pseudo-Wudo could be good as well. I think I'm just going in with like mass Zoruas though. We're getting as many Zoroarks as we can into play early. And then next turn I think I will set up for 3, just in case. I don't know, if my opponent plays Pseudo-Wudo or something, that's fine. I'll just set up for 3 or set up next turn when I'm going for like my Colress turn. I suspect that's just what I'm going to do. So, let's see, my opponent's got a Rangaroo, they got the Dialga, they're going to turn back time. And then, let's see, if your active Pokemon wants to evolve Pokemon, devolve it, put the highest stage evolution card into their hand. And it does 60 damage, so that's actually an auto KO on a Zoroark, which is a little bit concerning, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's a little bit troubling. Okay, and they also play this Necrozma. I think this is probably just some sort of feels like a snipe deck or something. I don't know. What are they doing? We need to get this Dialga out of here though, preferably with a turn 2 knockout. So let's get it deck. All right, we got a Skyfield, we're good to go. We can set up for 3, beautiful. Let's go, Turbo Zoroark. Show them what you got. Show them what you're made of. Apparently not much, because that setup was not good, but it's cool. I will Colress for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could Colress for 7, or I could just ship the whole hand and Juniper. I don't need any of these cards. What I need is to knock out that. I just want to knock out my opponent. So let's just ship it, or just going to Juniper. Think that I'm going here 7 cards either way, and I'm feeling like I want to just run my opponent off the board completely. So we're gonna try this strategy and see how it works out. Not good. Okay, not what we wanted here. So let's see, we've got Field Blower on that. We've got a double colorless energy, which we can put down and then set up for 2. I kind of need to draw into a Zoroark here. Ask and you shall receive, my friend. Here we go. So we've got a Zoroark. We've got an Ultra Ball. I can Ultra Ball. I could trade. I'm going to trade first. Let's trade away that AZ. That is good. And then we can Ultra Ball. We've got plenty of gas in the hand. We can Ultra Ball for a bunch of things. Unfortunately, we don't have an egg down yet, but we can do, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We're actually knocking this thing out right now. So I think I'm just going to take that knockout and just go from here. I'm not going to overextend too much. We've got what we wanted. We wanted that knockout, and we got it. So busted deck. Turn 2, 140. What can my opponent do to possibly slow me down from here? I mean, they could like Black Ray GX if they play D-Valley. I don't even know if they do play D-Valley though, or anything like that. I feel like this might be a Magnezone deck or something like that. I mean, the Metal Energy, I just don't actually know what the backbone of this deck is supposed to be. Is it Magnezone or is it, I don't know, to be honest. I don't really know, but it's fine. I'm just the one asking the questions. Looks like they're desperately trying to turn back time here. I'd be trying to turn back time too if I was playing this deck, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Maybe they play Solgaleo Prism Star. They play Beast Rings. What in the world am I they play Metagross and Beast Rings. Okay. So I think now this might be an Ultra Necrozma Metagross deck, which is just the conclusion that I have come to. Alrighty then, we've got some trade action locked and loaded for you guys. Let's start trading. Get rid of that Floatstone, don't need to. We got a DCE, very good. I could Ultra Ball, I guess, go get Lele, get Guzma. That's probably pretty good. So let's trade away probably my other Floatstone. I just don't really feel like I need those right now. I could trade away the other Ultra Ball and just go get Lele for good. Let's get rid of that Floatstone. I don't need Floatstone because I'm going to be just knocking things out. So now we can Ultra Ball away the Skyfield, and I don't actually think that I'll need my second special charge, but that feels a little bit sketchy, so I don't think I'm going to do it. Just get rid of the Colress. At this point, don't actually think I need the Colress either. My Lele's are gone. My other Lele is gone. It's gone. It's not in the deck. All right. So we're going for another Zoroark then. That's just fine. Didn't need it anyway. We can get an egg. You know what? I'm tired of trading things away, so we'll just get the egg, and then we're going to Ultra Ball away the Let Loose and the egg, and then I'm going to get myself another Zoroark. And we're just going to like hard mode that egg into the discard pile there. And now we can now we're cruising. Now we can really make the dream work. We could prop and trade that way. And, you know, we could set up, we could do everything that we want to do. Nothing's stopping us here. So smooth sailing. We got a comp search. We got a Versus Seeker. All right, what do we got going on here? We could Guzma. We can knock something out. I think I computer search for like... Is my Guzma even in there? I don't really know. I think I could computer search for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would knock out this guy, this fella. I'm also like not trying to get turn back timed though, so I think I might just Guzma up the turn back time duder there and just get him out of the equation. So let's computer search away. Probably just gotta get rid of those, even though I don't want to. And then we can Battle Compressor. We can get rid of that Guzma, and then we can actually just do that. So that's fine. What am I actually down like all my Versus Seekers? So I think I just should have, in hindsight, I'm not gonna need Fabas either. I should have, in hindsight, just computer searched, I think, for the actual Guzma, but it's all good. Got like a lot of Zoroarks out right now, so I think we'll be alright. Let's just do that, and then I will Guzma this fella. Sure. I'm gonna just knock him out so that I don't get turn back timed. I don't even want to see it. Don't want none of that to happen. Riotous Beating, get him out of here. 140 damage, 2-card hand, it's cool. We're in control of the situation here, so that is not an issue. I don't think that my opponent's deck's going to stabilize. This is just going to be like 30 minutes of my opponent's just not really doing too much here on PTCGO, so I apologize for that, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day, and I am flying to Anaheim this weekend, so I am excited about that. I'm going to be going to Anaheim for the Anaheim Regional Championships. That's what we're testing for here, so if you're going to be at Anaheim, make sure to stop, say hello. Stoked about that. Even if the tournament doesn't go well, just being in California for a weekend should be a lot of fun, no doubt. So what you gonna do with that Oranguru, fella? What you got? All right, I think it's almost about throwing the towel o'clock. I think that's about what time it is over here with the Metagross Dialga deck. I think it's about throwing the towel time. Little did I know. We've got a Metagross GX, though. All right, so they could algorithm, but they've got no cards in hand. Instruct for 3. Can they get a way to get that Metagross into the active position? Nobody knows. Maybe a Guzma. Oh, they've got another turn back time, fella. All right. So they're really intent on turning back time on my Zoroarks. They're going to do the 60 damage and just lift them up. Auto KO. 3 energy. Auto KO on a Zoroark, except it's... You know, it's only 1 prize since you're only knocking out the Zorua, though. So, good, but not too good. Not busted or anything. we're probably just going to go ahead and end this next turn. I don't really actually feel like I need to Guzma anything out. I will actually have a very hard time knocking out this Metagross. That is going to be a little bit of a pain, but I think so long as I can just, yeah, they're going to go ahead and scoop it up. All right. That's a wrap. As we got Turbo Zoroark, we got to do some things. We got to KO some Pokemon. You know, the list is fine. I think it might be better with just Gardevoir in it. Back and forth between the two right now. So let me know, what do you guys think of Zoroark in expanded format? How do you like to best play Zoroark? The Muck has been good for shutting off Pseudo-Woodos for sure. But you could easily just swap that out for Gardevoir, maybe play a Trash Lance Gardevoir, or maybe play some Rainbow Energies or Unit Energies or Blend Energies or something like that. Could play some of those as well. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, check out the Etsy store and Patreon stuff in the description below, as well as fullgripgames.com. Peace.